stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Hello, I'm very behind, so I'm sharing here. I'll just keep it there for now. I now have a live TikTok studio. All right. Happy Sunday. I'm going live again because there's some people that I don't even know. Am I? Well, yeah, it did work because I was able to share it. Oh, crack. Crack. I forgot my. Hold on, I gotta go. Oh, there it is. I have to go nowhere. It's right here. My wrist brace. I just can't. It hurts. Yeah, but probably can't see it. Yeah, you can. Kinda. That's not it right there. It's right there. You can see it a little bit. It bumps up, but I have a cyst right there. And anytime I like move my wrist, it hurts. See, it's not showing up. Give me a second here. Here we go. I'm gonna go make it easy here. Share in Messenger. Give me a second. Hold on. I gotta move TikTok. There we go. That should up. Okay. Thank you. All right. Okay. I'm glad you found it. I wasn't sure if it was getting to the right places, so I sent you the link too. But good to see you, Ingrid. Yeah. See, sometimes we plant a seed and they need to go out and try it a little bit more because they don't quite believe you. They want to believe you. Oh, they want to believe you because they want a better life. So if you sponsor right, like I don't fire sponsees. I've never ever fired a sponsee. Nope, I don't do it. They either do the work or they go away. I mean, that's just really what it is. Now I've had sponsees where it's been, I've done everything that I can. I just had one. I'm like, hey man, oh, did you need, I don't have insurance at the moment. That God took care of that too. I got a call from a friend this morning who works with financial, and hi Lori, good to see you. That works with financial stuff, and he said, hey, what's going on? And I explained our situation, and he's like, okay, that is an easy fix. Why don't me and Shannon sit down? I can show you how to write some of this off so that you can get your Medicaid back. He's like, I can fix that for you. This man charges $500 an hour, but he wants to help. Life's, I figured it was neat because, yeah, I can understand that, Ingrid. Absolutely. See, I'm different. I just don't say it. If they don't show up, I don't chase, I don't call, I just move on. You know, I'll do it once, and then I tell them, hey, we got to stay consistent. If we can't stay consistent, then they're okay, cool. My wife is leaving, and we have a rule, so I'll be right back. Love you. All right. Yeah, we have kissing rules. So, but yeah, hi Patricia, good to see you. Yay, it's me and the girls today. You do 3 strikes? See, I only get 1. And I'll, and I'm there and I'm available, but because I like to give them there's only, I can't chase you and things like that, but yeah, a good sponsor doesn't get offended by that because they understand that they're dealing with a disease. So if you're like, you know what, you're not doing the fucking work, blah, 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 they may not come back to you, but if we do and Ingrid, this is why your sponsee came back, but if we do the, hey, if you need me, I'm here. Okay. I consider myself a forever person. That means if I have helped you at all, I will help you again. Yeah. Okay. You will help me. I was in our grassroots meeting last night, and wow, those meetings are just fucking. I mean, they're so good that people are going way over time because they finally feel comfortable and somewhere to go and know that they're not going to be, given shit for having feelings and stuff. We talk about different things, but this person, 5 months, they still consider themselves new, doing a 4-step. She talked about the pains of growing up, and it hit me. That's why I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling. I'm growing up. I'm changing. And once that hit me, I see it. Now I see it. And I'm doing better. I'm not back to where I usually am, but I don't think I'm going to ever be that person again. Isn't it weird that you can be reborn more than once? God has these magnificent gifts. I woke up and my daughter had written me something, and I was like, no, I'm never doing TikTok. So I set up a TikTok. She's my only follower, and she's gonna help me with it. I'm gonna tell you right now, the only reason I'm doing it is because I get to spend more time with my daughter, but I know that something good will come out of it. I know it will, because now she's gonna help me do what I do. A year ago, she wouldn't even fucking talk to me. These are growing pains. So the 2x4 effect, I'm gonna pull out the spiritual experience. It means I'm growing real fast, and it hurts. And that's what I could, now that God gave me that. And before I move on, thank you, Lori. I did see that. So I will do that also, because this other stuff can take time. So maybe I'll reach out to Denver Health, and so thank you for that outlet. See, I found that as a person that advocates, I am only as good as my resources. Yeah. All right. And a person that works in this industry, I'm probably going to utilize those resources sometimes. Food banks, indigent stuff. Yeah. Yeah. I utilize food banks. Sometimes I need to. Sometimes it's a top ramen week. Sometimes it's a mac and cheese week. Mac and cheese is like the top for me. So we're gonna go to the spiritual experience. Figure, some guidance. What I don't need is Dion talking on his stuff, because y'all know what's going on. right? And there were a lot of people. There were several people that reached out, you know. Um, and for the people that did not hear earlier, I did put my Facebook back up, okay? And it is because my daughter pretty much said, Dad, we don't run, we double down. That's not what she told me, but that's what I heard. So I'm going to double down on God instead. If people want to report, if they want to do things, let them. Let them. So, um, and that's why. But I'm not going to put Facebook on my phone. No. And I'm not going to be on it a lot. I've already gotten more shit done. There's an addiction there. Yeah, I use it to consume time. Let's get to this. Did I even do introductions? I don't think I did. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. I'm Dion. If you're here, please say hello, but you already have been, so great stuff. Instagram, we don't get, but they only like it once in a while. So, but we're going to do it anyway, so I have more videos on Instagram. Yeah. All right. The spiritual experience, the terms spiritual experience and spiritual awakening are used many times in this book. Upon careful reading, shows that the personality change sufficient to bring about recovery from alcoholism has manifested itself among us in many different forms. My heart disease was shooting off infections, and it attacked my hip, wrist, and my wrist. The hip healed itself. Cool. I've had this forever. I've had this since my early 30s, late 20s, early 30s. And, people have asked, why didn't you take care of it? Because it didn't bother me. And so I didn't think of it. And that's just the truth. And I'm an alcoholic and I don't get shit done. Right? Pain is the beginning of all change. And I'm in pain and I want change, right? There we are. Yet it is true that our first printing gave many readers the impression that these personality changes or religious experiences, I'm not big on I'd still rather just have the spiritual experience, must be in the nature of sudden and spectacular upheavals. Happily for everyone, this conclusion is erroneous. Yeah. Like this part is happening fast. Okay. And I've been through this before, but never I was always in a good place before that change happened. In the beginning, it did not happen fast for me. Hold on a second. I got a cat. Yeah, a cat fight's about to start. What is going on? Leave alone. All right. That's how you break up a cat fight. As soon as Dad walks in, people are like, okay, well, I'm not. All the cats are like, we're not doing anything. And I got Jack. Oh, he was on the windowsill. He's like, I'm not even over there. I have one cat. He's just getting older and he's becoming cranky. And two of my cats are so curious that they're bullies. So, yeah. So, fight over. So, anyway, of the educational variety, let's do a little bit more reading before I get into that, though. In the first few chapters, a number of sudden revolutionary changes are described. Though it is not our intention to create such an impression, many alcoholics have nevertheless concluded that in order to recover, they must acquire an immediate and overwhelming God consciousness, followed at once by a vast change in feeling and outlook. Now, they wrote this because people were saying, hey, does that need to happen? And they were like, oh, fuck, we gave a bad impression here. We got to add something. We gave a bad impression. No, that is not the way it needs to go. Well, you could have solved it by putting Dr. Bob's story right after Bill's story or Dr. Bob's nightmare. That would have solved that problem for you. See, they just read the first 164 pages. If you read Bob's Nightmare first, you won't get that conclusion. But there are other stories in there where people have had these sudden. Now, thankfully, that's erroneous, as they say, right? Okay. Among our rapidly growing membership of thousands of alcoholics, such transformations, though frequent, are by no means the rule. I do still see it. There are some people that are fucking struck sober, man. They are. Okay. Well, that's that for that person. See, the way I see it is our higher power or God or whatever you want to call it provides the needs individually. Right. And that's how I get my direction. Now, I'm not trying to be perfect like God. Actually, I am. I'm trying to reach his perfection. Sure, I am. I know I'm never going to reach that. I'm okay with that. But I can use those same morals. Well, God comes to me where I'm at. So therefore, I do everything that I can to, come to people where they're at. That's the best that we can do, right? In that. So spiritual experiences are individualized. What is going on? Do I need to lock you in your own room, Ronan? Dear Lord, dude. Yeah. Cat distraction. Instead of squirrels, I'll cat. See the cat? Most of our experiences are what the psychologist William James calls the educational variety because they develop slowly over a period of time. Yeah, over a period of time. See, a lot of it depends on my willingness. And God knows whether I'm willing or not. He knows. He knows. I can't lie to him. Can't lie to them. No. Even when I'm lying to myself, even when I think it's the truth, if I watch those consequences, I'll get my answers. But, we're kind of a proactive people, and maybe we should try and work on our consequences being good instead of worrying about whether this is going to happen or that's going to happen. Is it you? Are you the one starting shit? What's going on? Come here. Come here. Come here. Clearly somebody needs attention. He doesn't want to sit on my lap. Yeah. Well, quit being a dick, dude. Or you're going to find a water bottle in your face. All right. Now, this is the weird part. You may have a spiritual experience and not know it. Because you're like, you haven't experienced it before. So you may not recognize it. And that's what they're going to talk about here, right? Quite often, friends of the newcomer are aware of the difference long before he is himself. And we know what I'm going to say. Encourage them. Then encourage them, please. I didn't see it. And what my sponsor used to do is he would say, Dion, I've noticed these changes in you. And he would encourage me. Okay. But if I was going the wrong way, then he wouldn't reprimand me. He would say, Dion, we tried that route and it didn't work. Try this. Okay, then I will try that instead. Even though I think it goes against everything, but this man has not given me any bad suggestions before. He never gave me advice. He didn't do advice. Okay? So he would encourage me. Hey, Dion, your eyes are starting to shine. You're putting on a little bit of weight there, man. Good for you. Right? You've been doing what you're supposed to be doing. Yeah, you've been taking your meds. You went to the doctor. Good, man. These are the things that we need to do. Okay? Because that new person has no idea. What's going through their head is, this fucking sucks. I hate this. This is the worst thing in the world. That's what's going through their head, remember? And they'll say something. They'll say something like, this situation happened, but I figured instead of going to the liquor store, I'd try coming here first. Encourage that. That is, what is that? Progress. All you need to do is bring up their progress, and there is some. All you got to do is look hard enough. Listen to them. Meet them where they're at. You will find it. And because you took a little bit of time to encourage somebody else, you just might save their fucking life. Not just their life, but the life of countless others, because that person may go on to help a whole state of people. Who knows? You may not ever know about it. You don't need to know about it. I have found something out. God doesn't let me miss out on anything I'm not supposed to miss out on. If I'm not invited, I don't go. They don't want me there. It's all right. I'll go do something better. Hey, I've been walking hard. The whole grassroots thing is just Dion finding his fellowship. That's all I'm doing. And it's working. It's working, not just for me, but for everybody else. I'm getting what I need from it. I'm getting what I need from it. They're great meetings. Great meetings. Wow. Okay. He finally realized that he has undergone a profound alteration in his reaction to life. What does that mean? It means I'm still going to get intrusive thoughts. That's what that means to me. Okay. So let's talk about it. We all get them. We don't want to talk about them. They're embarrassing. It's kind of embarrassing that I could be that reactive after how spiritual I am. Okay. And I can be a very reactive person. Right? That's why I'm not on Facebook as much now. Okay. So what am I going to need to do? Because there's an addiction here, but it ain't like alcohol. See, I have this thing called willpower. And I have a strong willpower with a lot of things. Okay. But I also have God, and He'll help me find a balance because I still want to reach people. Well, I seem to do really good on social media. It seems to be a good arena for me. So, yeah. And I can tell you now, if it would have been anybody else but my daughter, I don't know that I would have been willing to do it. God picked the right person. Yeah. Yes, I will listen to the advice of my daughter. Why? Because she's exactly like me and she's not convoluted with all the bullshit that I have. So she's saying exactly what I would say if I needed to say it. And she ain't gonna hold back on me. We have a great relationship. I guarantee we're gonna argue. But it's always gonna be out of love, just like I do with all of you. And that's because I went and said, I don't care what you're doing. I just want to be a part of your life. And I will do what I can to keep my sticky little fingers out of your fucking life. If you don't want me in a part of that life, you can tell me and I will remove myself. I will. I want to do what's right for her, not me. I'm already getting what I need. God got me. A profound alteration in his reaction to life, that such a change could hardly have been brought about by himself alone. Okay. And we're not just talking God here. Well, yeah, we are. Because your fellowship, whether it's AA or NA or Celebrate or Smart or, I've been driving around. I've been seeing a lot of Celebrate Recovery at these churches. Shannon pointed out another one yesterday. I'm like, yeah, man, good for them. Awesome. That's really cool. But there again, they understand you don't do this alone. If God speaks to his children, then what do we need? We need community. We need fellowship. Even though there's a part of me that's like, I hate people. Do I? Sometimes I can have enough of them, that's for sure. But do I hate people? Not really. Do I find them inconvenient? Oh, yeah. Okay. Have I found a part of me that's willing to be inconvenienced because I appreciate your friendship? Yeah. This is just honest. We all go through it, Dad. And it's okay to talk about it with me. With me. I'm a steel trap. You say something to me, I mess up. I do. But I'm a HIPAA motherfucker. With few exceptions, our members find that they have tapped an unsuspecting inner resource with which they presently identify with their own conception of a power greater than themselves. And that's why it works so well, because they have tapped an inner resource. It came from the inside. Yes, it did. It can only come from there. I can introduce you to your higher power. I can walk you there. I can clear the I can, yeah, that I get that. Yeah. Most humans do give me anxiety. Yes. It's my tolerance. And that's back to Dion, right? On my patience and tolerance. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I did. So I went to the Billy Joel concert, right? And I did. I had fun, even though I was miserable the whole time. Now Coldplay's coming, and I want to go see Coldplay. I don't go because I learned from the last time. Well, I still have some anxiety and things like that. Yeah, but now I know not to take cash to a concert because they don't take cash anymore. They don't do cash. So I learned there's a new way to go to concerts. Now I know it. All right. When the inner resource which they presently identify with their own conception of a power greater than themselves. And that's what's great about all these programs I've been talking about. Every single program that I've been talking about does that. And I can appreciate that. That we allow you, okay? I'm gonna make an example. There's a company called Overcomers Counseling, and it's where I send anybody that needs help. I'll tell you why I love it. Okay. Number one, their employees like working there. That is my number one indicator. Okay. I had a therapist there. I'm hoping to go back. She's like, Dion, I will leave an opening for you. Best therapist in the world. Right. I love her. I do. And she knows a lot about me. She's great guiding me. But what was great when I first went to Overcomers Counseling is they said, okay, what do you need? And I clicked these boxes. And what they did is they gave me options. They didn't say, oh, here's your fit. No, they said, here are 4 or 5 options. And they let me have a choice over my own path. That was fucking cool. We do the same thing here. It's called cognitive behavioral therapy. And what happens is you're given options in a problem. All right. Well, this is our problem, and these are our options. Which do you think is going to be better for you? Well, what about this one? What's it about? And describe it. Go through it. What's this other one? I'm not sure. Let's find out together. You may not know everything, and that's okay. Because you probably know somebody that knows, and that's what we do. I am not the Alpha Omega, but what I am is a helper. I'm a helper. So that means, and I've done this plenty of times, even when I was a recovery coach, I had this one guy, he was too meek for me. I offended him very easily, and we were not getting anywhere. I was not the person for him. And I told him, I'm like, hey, bud, I'm not helping you, am I? He's like, I appreciate it, but no, not really. I'm like, let's go find you a different recovery coach. And I went and found a recovery coach. I don't remember their name. That was, a lot more tame than me. I don't know if it worked out or not. I don't know. But I knew I wasn't the person. And that was okay. I don't need to be. But I was the person that helped them to get there. Sure. I just freed up my day so I could go help the person that I can help. All right. I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm not. All right. Most of us think this awareness of a power greater than ourselves is the essence of a spiritual experience. Our more religious members call it God consciousness. I am not religious, but I believe in God consciousness. It happened to me this morning with my daughter. It happened when my friend called and said, "Hey, I see that you're having trouble with your Medicaid and I can help with that." This is God consciousness. This is God directly answering my questions. Is he speaking directly to me? Fuck, I don't know. I hear things in my head. I don't know if they're intrusive thoughts or not. So even if I do think that God is talking directly to me, I'm still going to run it by another person. And they may be like, yeah, I think he did this time. But see, I'm still using a different messenger to make sure. Because there's been times where I'm like, oh, that's God consciousness. And it was not. It was Dion's pride, which is different. All right. We emphatically wish, we most emphatically we wish to say that any alcoholic or addict capable of honestly facing his problems in the light of experience can recover. Yeah, I get to watch this all the time. That's why I go to meetings, man. I go to meetings for a few reasons. Number one, I like seeing my friends. I just like AA. I feel comfortable there. I always have. Okay. Do I know that people are judging me while I'm talking? Yeah, I fucking know that. I'm in a room of alcoholics. I'm also judging. But what did we talk about? What it said is he finally realized he has undergone a profound alteration in his reaction. It's my reaction that matters. And we're not reacting. There we are. There we are. I'm not going to react to that. No, not always. If you were in the Happy Trudgers noon meeting on Friday, hey, you know what? If it's the parking lot meeting and you decide to gaslight me in front of everybody, I will call you out. I will call you out, and it will hurt. And I do not feel like I owe an amend. You found my boundary. You pushed and you pushed. I gave warnings. I kept saying, don't interrupt me while I'm talking. Chat, 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 chat. That's interrupting. Okay. And then, then the other stuff. So find those boundaries, man, and stick to them. It's hard. There's a part of me that wants to go back and apologize. No. You know what that is? That's the part of my brain that will seek out sordid places for companionship and approval. No, Dion. Okay. Now, Dion, how's that companionship and approval? Well, I was a person that growing up, that bad attention was better than no attention. And if you think my brain works differently now, no. I have to force myself. Okay. An alcoholic who's sober, it doesn't feel natural to us for a long time. That's okay. You're learning something. Provided he does not close his mind to all spiritual concepts. He can only be defeated by an attitude of intolerance or belligerent denial. We're not going to say, you got to go to church. I'm not going to tell you have to pray. I'm not going to tell you what your higher power needs to be. I don't know. I'm not God, so how can I even determine that? I don't know. Because there's a lot of spirituality. No worries, I'm almost done. Ever just have a good scratch? There we go. It's a good scratch. We find that no one need have difficulty with the spirituality of the program. Willingness, honesty, and open-mindedness are the essentials of recovery, but these are indispensable. So it says that we find that no one need have difficulty. Now, I didn't have a hard time. I grew up Mormon, but I just didn't believe what they were saying. I'm like, you know what? And I'm not hacking Mormonism either. No, they've all got their places, right? And if God wants it there, God wants it there. But I don't believe in the fire, brimstone. And I'm finding out something. That isn't what they were saying. I was being closed-minded. They weren't doing anything to me. They were providing me with information. What I did with that at a very young age was up to me. But nobody in that church ever forced me to do anything. So, you know, and I'm not big on that. Well, those Christian people that, you know what? They're all over. That's just a human being. You know, they're trying to figure out life. All right. What I have found that though is that we can be kind of stubborn and thick-headed, and this can make it hard. So even though I've been saying it for years, Amber brought it back up again a few months ago. It is hard as you decide it to be. Because what is it? It's an inner resource. It's an unsuspecting inner resource. So who's blocking it? Me. I'm the one blocking me from the sunlight of the spirit. I can work with that. That I can work with. Oh, you mean it wasn't them that was blocking me from you, God? Oh. I've been watching the show, and then I'm going to wrap up here. I've been watching this show called Vox Machina, right? And it's an animated show, and they swear it. It's funny, and it's got dragons. But anyway, there's this cleric, right? And she thought that she lost her power because a vampire had put a hex on her. And so she's trying to find the light. She finally talks to her, and she's like, you will get the light back when you will figure out what is blocking you. And she keeps saying, you are blocking you. You are blocking you. And finally, she comes to the realization, oh, no, that was just something in my head telling me that so that I would keep myself from that. And it was her all along, right? It's the same concept with me. There is a principle which is a bar against all information, which is proof against all arguments, and which cannot fail to keep a man in everlasting ignorance. That principle is contempt prior to investigation. I'm not even going to cover that because you know what? That'll just make me angry. Nah. All right. Thanks everybody for being here. I probably will not be live again today. Got my meeting, and then there's football. So Broncos may win, they may lose. Right. And no, I'm going to tell you right now, that game against the Raiders was great. That was a great game. I don't care who won or not. It was just a fun game to watch. I do have to admit it was funner to watch that week because we won. But, you know, thing is my friends here, some of them are Raiders fans, and I'm just trying to cooperate. I hate the Raiders. I hate them. I don't hate them. They're a rival. It's supposed to be fun. Entertainment. Let them entertain you. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I love you.